What's up, everybody? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Hatiana. I actually want to start this episode out by shouting out Kataba. Shout out Twin. Me and her go way back. I just, for those who don't know, I just put out a video called Tethered where I explain like why two people are connected. Me and her will forever be connected because she actually drew up a tattoo that I have on me. One of the very few I only have 3 tattoos. I think everybody looks at my sleeve and thinks that is more, but it's only 3. I have my grandmother's name. I have the indigenous woman in a headdress, and then I have Nefertiti in her headdress as well. She is the one who created the one. It's shaped like Africa, but it has her face in it. So she drew that up for me over a decade ago, and yeah, I love it. And I think everybody talks about that one the most. If I'm being honest, everyone talk about that one the most. But yeah, shout out to her. She was actually the one who inspired this video today. So I wanted to come in here and talk to you guys about, I guess, natural and artificial beauty. So let's start from the beginning, right? There are levels to this shit. So I think on a very basic level, we can talk about um what natural beauty is, and on a very extreme level, natural beauty would literally be rolling out of bed, not brushing your teeth, washing your face, combing your hair, putting on lotion, putting on chapstick, none of that stuff, and just like looking divine. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to those girls. I'm not one of those girls, but shout out to y'all. Then if you move up a little bit more, if we're just talking like basic and like regular maintenance, we're talking about, putting grease or other kind of products in your hair to make it like shine, make your curls pop, putting on like a tinted moisturizer and sunscreen, lotion, different kind of things like that, lip gloss or lip balm, in order to add shine and moisture to your skin, right? And then if we kick that up a notch, we get into the more side of artificial, where there is chemical pills, they have fillers, um different kind of things like that that would enhance one's beauty. Well, I would hope so. um and then on the more extreme side, we talk about invasive, like surgeries and things like that, where you need anesthesia in order to get put asleep. uh what she was particularly talking about on her post, which I thought was really dope, was her realizing that, at a time when she had, her first got on Snapchat, that her filters were essentially taken away from her natural features. Now, as a fellow unambiguous black girl with a big forehead, with full lips, and a not so small nose, like, I've never been a one to like use like heavy. I never was into those kind of like filters. I do like a filter, but I was never like into those heavy filters. And ain't no, but like, it does take away from your unique features. And essentially what she was saying, she just posted like a gorgeous picture, and I was like, damn, girl, shit. That light was hitting her right, but nah. She had posted like a gorgeous picture of her with like no filter on, hair braided, just looking nice. And she was basically mentioning in the post, like a little bit later on in the day, I believe, that, she just decided that she just didn't want to use filters. And she had noticed like a some influencer that she followed. She was like, I don't think this girl ever posted a picture without like filters. You know what I'm saying? And she said that she was gonna bring up the topic on her platform on TikTok. I don't know her TikTok, but if I could, if she runs it by me, I'm gonna ask her. I'm going to insert it in the description box so y'all can head over to TikTok. I personally don't have a TikTok. I'm so goddamn old school. You just gonna find me on Instagram and YouTube, child. But anyway, so um I'm not gonna say this discussion is important, but it's definitely very interesting. Like I said, I feel like it's levels to this kind of thing. And from my own personal experience, I like a more polished look. Like me, even when I do my makeup, it may be minimal, but I still like a polished look. Like I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not leaving the crib without like a cute little beat. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna get beat down and be doing all of the extra stuff that most people do, but I'm definitely going outside looking polished. I have always been like that. I've been like that since my late teen years. So it definitely isn't going to change about me now. There are some girls who could just get up and go, who could put on like a tinted moisturizer or nothing at all, maybe some lip gloss or whatever. But I'm also the kind of girl who doesn't like eyelash enhancements, and I don't like lipstick per se or whatever, but I do like a natural soft beat. I do like looking put together when I go outside. I want people to know that I actually take pride in the way that I look. And it's not to take away from the girls who don't have to do the things that I do, but I also do have a skin condition and I have texture issues, and I have spent not even hundreds. I have spent thousands of dollars doing treatments. I've done microblading. I've done not a CO2 treatment, but I forgot what it was called. But essentially, I would go every single month. I had to pay like yeah, I think it was $400. It was $400 a month. I did it for like 5, 6 months, child, and then I was just like, okay, this is just it's just too much, um, because I had got a really bad acid burn on the right side of my face because during COVID I decided to do something that I wasn't supposed to do, so I had to heal my face, and then I ended up paying way more money than I needed to get the more invasive treatment so that I could reverse a stupid mistake. So that contributed to some very minimal texture issues that I had, right? So if I had a went to a professional, I probably would have had like maybe I would say 1 to 3 like micro needling sessions would have did me good and I would have been on my way. But outside of that, I have like really sensitive skin. I've had hyperpigmentation and dark spots and stuff like that. So I am one of those girls who has to just put more into the way that they look, where I can't just get up, put my hair up and going about my day. And I mean, yes, I could, but that's just not my personal choice. Like I said, I've been like this since I was 17. So, well, probably before that, probably like 16, 17. So I'm personally not going to go outside looking a particular kind of way. Now, when I'm in a crib, like I'm gonna be looking regular, degular, schmegular. And if you come to my home, I'm not gonna bother to do anything. But I think that what she was essentially saying is just like, does she actually really like her face? And sometimes I think, and not I'm not saying this is her, but I'm saying like I think people get too caught up in the keeping it real part. Whereas like if you have a brand, or even if you don't have a brand, if you have a brand or if you don't have a brand, your image on the internet is forever immortalized. And I think a lot of people get too caught up in a concept of keeping it real. It's just like there are there are people who definitely see you in real life, and then there are people who see you on the internet. And I don't think we owe the internet anything. Like if I decide to get on the internet without a filter, cool. But if I decide to put on a filter, like okay, like it shouldn't matter to me, it shouldn't matter. So I think there are definitely women who do more invasive things that I would never do, and I'm not saying she's judging anybody. I'm just saying me personally, I don't think that if somebody does or doesn't decide to come on the internet a particular kind of way, I don't look at them as liking themselves less because they don't do something that I do, right? So it's a lot of natural Nazis, and again, this is not towards her. There's a lot of natural Nazis out there who will be like, "Oh well, girls, um, you know, it's the girls who be like all natural but got on like a full set of lashes and lip gloss. You know that's an enhancement, right? Like you without nothing is actually being natural, like nothing, like no lash enhancements, no lip gloss, no swoop de loop baby hairs. Like no, you and your natural element in your natural state, what you just lubricating your lips with spit. Like that would be natural. But me, I don't give a fuck about what the girls decide to do. Like, to me it's none of my business, but I do feel like it is an interesting topic because I actually cuz she was saying how she just never had heard of anybody talking about it before, and funny enough, because of my skin and texture issues, there are a lot of girls who actually have did like not TikToks, but where they show like the different lighting from like a lower angle, a side angle, a front angle on how things look and are being perceived through the camera. So you can see like the different kind of textures in her skin just depending on where the light hits. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of this shit is like optical illusion, to be honest with you, because angles, lighting, makeup, no makeup, filter, like you can manipulate anybody into looking at you a particular kind of way when you post things on the internet. Um I just wouldn't get so caught up into it because it's just like, okay, like if she want to do that, cool. She don't, like, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it don't mean no, never mind to me. And I personally don't care if people like love or hate themselves or not, that I'm not directly connected to. Like, I personally don't care. But I do think that as a woman who lives in a patriarchal society where men have been the founders of creating cosmetic products in order to quote unquote enhance women's appearances, that you should love your natural state. I don't care how imperfect it is. I don't care if you show that to the world or you just show it to yourself. You have to understand, like, you have to love you. Don't let nobody gaslight you into living how they want you to live. So if you need to run a couple of blocks to the store and you need to throw on, a wig, or you need to throw your hair up in a slick bun, and you know what I'm saying, get that eco styler and swoop and loop them edges before you decide to go outside, do that. And if you don't feel like you need to and you feel like you're gonna run to the store in your pajama pants, do that. Do whatever makes you feel comfortable. You should love you in all different kind of states. Like I said, me personally, I would never do anything invasive to myself where I needed to be put underneath anesthesia. But I can understand why other women would feel the pressure of feeling like they need to do something because of their own reality. But I don't want to project my reality onto them, because it's just like, I don't know how you live. I don't know what you've been conditioned to believe. I don't know what kind of insecurities that you may have about yourself, and what you've been and how you may have been dealing with it for years. Like some women, like I used to get, well, I'm not going to say I used to, but I used to have a thing with my nose. And then one time, like, this boy, he liked me or whatever, like he was on my body. But you know how some dudes like nag you when they can't find like anything about you that's wrong, so they just decide to highlight the thing that may be a little bit different about you. So he said, like, your nose is like mad big. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, nobody has ever said that to me before. But for a second I was actually like fixated on my nose. Like, why the fuck would he say my nose is like big? Because I didn't think I think I didn't necessarily like my nose because it wasn't like short and slender like everybody else's. But then him highlighting it made me look at it twice. You know what I'm saying? For just like a second. You know what I'm saying? He ain't get me all the way out my body. But yeah, he made me like, so is my nose big? And like, how many other people do think my nose big? And then I just had to reel it back because I was just like, no, 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 no. I have to remember my own self-concept. Fuck what everybody else is talking about. But that's what I'm saying. Like, there was a time when I used to be fixated on my more indigenous features, and I didn't, like I said, I am an unambiguous black woman. Like, I don't have the most chinkiest eyes. I don't have the smallest nose, and I don't have like the small and dainty lips, and even the fairest skin tone. Like, as much as people would call me, I guess, fake light skin, I call myself brown or light brown. But like, as much, or honey, there we go, honey. As much people would call me like caramel or honey or whatever the case may be, I feel like I'm a brown skinned woman. You know what I'm saying? But I used to, as a little kid, I never felt like I was, as dainty enough or cute enough or light enough or had like the loosest textured hair, and that didn't make me feel pretty, because there was one um not one, but it was a particular kind of beauty standard that was more Eurocentric, that didn't identify with me. And it wasn't until I got a little bit older that I actually started to appreciate myself a little bit more. Now, through trial and error, I didn't always love the way my face looked, even without makeup on. But I think the older that I got, the more I stopped giving a fuck about what everybody else thought. And I had to realize, like, what is my self concept? Like, what do I like about me? So I look in the mirror, and regardless of my flaws, in spite of that, I still love myself anyway. And I'm like, damn. Like, I actually was passed down some of the most gorgeous motherfucking features you could ever motherfucking dream of. So, shout out to my ancestors in that regard. But yeah, like, I just appreciate my face, and it took a long line of men and women in order for me to come into this world and look the way that I look, and I don't take that for granted. You know what I'm saying? Granted, along the lines, I did do a couple of stupid things, and I'm pretty sure, like, if I had like a better diet and different kind of things like that, it would increase the way that my skin quality and different things like that look. But outside of that, there is things that I cannot control. You know what I'm saying? Like, even my mom, she has acne prone skin or whatever. My brother didn't get it, but I did. So um like I said, I was always just so conscious about some of those things for like the longest time. But I'm just like, everybody has these different kind of imperfections. So I think I just look at the world just like a little bit differently. I don't necessarily question why not people do the things that they do when it comes to their face, their body or whatever, because we all internally are dealing with shit that we don't share with the world. So, do I think that people are more on the extreme side and take it off the deep end when it comes to certain kind of things? Absolutely. And I also take note of the girls who don't do nothing at all and who are also on the low end extreme side, who just don't give a fuck about any kind of maintenance. I think it's cool to have a healthy medium, but again, I'm not shaming the girls who are extra, who just get like beat to the nines, who feel like, when I feel like this, like, I feel like that bitch. Do your big one. And to the girls who could just, throw their hair up in a bun and run to the store with sweatpants on and just look divine, shout out to you goddesses too. So yeah, I think that's just, my basic thoughts on it or whatever the case may be. But shout out to her again for bringing up the topic, because like I said, I live on a side of Instagram where it's like skin, like I actually ordered from, it's so funny how I seen her status today. Literally an hour before, I ordered from this place called Ava Estelle that actually caters to like skincare. And I ordered like the bundle package. It was only like $66. Yeah, like 66, $70. But yeah, I'll probably do like a little product review or whatever. And the reason why that line actually started is because there was a husband who realized that his woman, excuse me, not even his woman, child, let me correct myself. He realized that his wife was going through a skin issue and he wanted to help her fix it. So he created a line himself to help her deal with her skin issues, and she started flourishing, and that's how the business began. So yeah, we all getting inspiration from everywhere, child. You know what I'm saying? You see how how one little spark can just, like, it could just radiate throughout the universe, and just, everybody just have their own little place. I'm doing commentary there. You don't know. She like Taba giving the ideas. I'm giving commentary. This person is giving me a product that can help me, with the condition of my skin. Everybody wins. So yeah, y'all get down in the comment section and let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Of course, hit a motherfucker with a 20, 40 piece, son. I don't get on this motherfucking microphone just doing this shit for shits and giggles. You know what I'm saying? I want to get paid for my talents. So y'all do what y'all do, and I will talk to y'all later.